And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're back in business with a showdown between the Empire and the Tomb Kings. It's going to be Marcus Wolfhart trying to see if Cetra the Imperishable is indeed imperishable. We also brought a LUMINARK as well, so getting real crazy in this game against AC Moore should be quite a bit of fun. So let's jump right into this match, guys, and take a look at these builds. Now, front line, it's just there to do one thing and just pretty much hold. Flagellants, of course, actually trade pretty well against Skeleton Chaff. Their melee defense obviously atrocious, but their melee attack and good weapon strength does allow them to cut through skeleton warriors, skeleton spears. They do lose to Tomb Guard if I'm not mistaken, but they can put a dent in those guys. So the Flagellants and Sigmar Sun's front line I think is pretty effective against Tomb Kings. A little bit weak against skeleton archers, but generally they can do the trick. Now, this is a very close variation of my normal build. Normally in this matchup I have 2 cannons, I have 2 Knights of the Blazing Sun, but instead of the LUMINARK, I do use Demogryph Knights to sweep and keep like Cetra from getting into the back line. But, I was like, let's have some fun. Let's do something different, change it up a little bit. And, if we do get the LUMINARK to work, it can do great things. But the LUMINARK has some serious, weird kind of line of sight blocking. Sometimes it just doesn't shoot. It's a very buggy piece of equipment, which is pretty unfortunate because it certainly has a lot of potential. But if it was more accurate, if the LUMINARK was like deadly accurate, it would just be overpowered. So it needs to be really inaccurate for it to be fair, because it's just like it can just instantly end a game with a proper shot. So yeah, front line's unbreakable. We got a Spirit Leecher. We have Amethyst Wolfhart here. We have Marcus Wolfhart. We got double cannons with spears to shoot Ushapti Greatbow, and 2 Knights of the Blazing Sun just to give me a cavalry presence. Now for my opponent's army, he does have a front line of Tomb Guard. It looks like there's going to be 4 in total. Pretty heavy duty on the infantry, but Tomb Guard against my army should be good. Honestly, like I don't have anything that's really that good against them. Probably one of the weakest points of my army is the infantry killing power, but Knights of the Blazing Sun with proper charge can certainly melt them. So they're really going to be important in this game. Spearman, triple Skeleton Archer, double Ushapti Greatbow. Ushapti Greatbow is obviously quite strong, but a little bit weak to cannons. But Skeleton Archers are another thing I don't have the best answers to here. So those Knights of the Blazing Sun are going to be busy. We have Nehekara Horsemen, and it looks like it is going to be Cetra the Imperishable in the back. And that is the army. Now, as far as spells, he does have the Curse Blades. And I believe the Foz Protection to give the ward save, which is pretty good, especially considering my build is very heavily focused on sniping. So there you can see the first LUMINARK shot blasting in. It does hit the Tomb Guard right down the pipe, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, no, I think those were cannon shots that softened them up, but it does hit the Tomb Guard and does okay. So just trying, eyeing Cetra right here. There are some like hills and slopes and kind of weird terrain features on this map, so the LUMINARK can get obstructed, but here you can see we are going to be shooting a shot, I believe, into the Ushapti Greatbow. Marcus Wolfhart ripping some ammunition here into the Tomb Guard in the front, and the grenade launchers going to be trying to get a freebie, but he does have the Skeleton Archers and the Ushapti Greatbow, so as soon as I see that fire coming in, I'm like, nah, they have a very low model count. I don't want to be losing them outright. I'm going to need them. They're my other really, really solid, typically speaking, anti-infantry choice. So the grenade launcher is going to be running, doing a little loop-de-loo around this pond here, and again, yeah, the weird terrain features on this map, very, very strange stuff, but the Lumi is going to be shooting now. I believe I have locked a shot into the Ushapti Greatbows here, but you can see it like it was started to fire and then it got like line of sighted. Very, very strange. There's actually a bug with the LUMINARKs. I can perhaps I'll show you guys in another video. If somebody runs out of your kill box with a LUMINARK, you can see nice grenades going down there. What happens is that the LUMINARK has to do a full 360 spin before it can shoot again. It's really, really buggy. But here are the Knights of the Blazing Sun charging into Tomb Guard, but I think I might have forgot to cue that charge or something. Can't quite recall, but check this out. So right here we get a Lumi shot, and this is the money shot right here. It's going to hit several of those Ushapti. It actually kills a model outright and takes out, I think, 2 of them, which is huge value city. So in that case, the LUMINARK did quite well. My Knights of the Blazing Sun charge, though, was very lackluster. The Skeleton Archer, Concave Fire, plus double Ushapti Greatbow really punished them, so that was actually a mistake sending them in. Probably should have just let my infantry go in and played it a little bit more conservatively. But now these Knights of the Blazing Sun, still having 39 of 45 models, will come back here and we'll be looking for a fight with the Nehekara Horsemen. Another shot going in, going to be hitting the Ushapti potentially, does about 200 damage and does kill one of the Ushapti Greatbow models outright. So far the Lumi's doing okay. But where you see the lack of Demogryph Knights potentially is when Cetra starts pushing into my battle lines, and we haven't seen that yet because Cetra is hiding from Marcus. He's waiting for his Skeleton Archers and these different units to get in position and drop some nice shots. Really good Ushapti Greatbow play from my opponent. And the grenade launchers now will be falling back. Here comes another LUMINARK shot, going to be going after your boy Cetra. So let's check this one out. So there it goes. Downtown, baby, we need this. He's at 7,500 HP, and it goes like, I don't know, I guess it went through the thing's ears. It looked like it hit the thing in the head to me, but yeah, like I'm saying, even if it looks like it hit something, it doesn't always do it, so a little bit unfortunate. Now the 2 cannons still shooting in. We are able to, I believe, get the Ushapti a little bit lower. We'll eventually wear them down. The cannons are a good long-term investment. They're like a dividend stock. So they're going to be shooting downtown, eventually giving some returns here on the Ushapti as they do kill another model. And on the flank, we have the Knights of the Blazing Sun. A big overload coming here. We have Tomb Guard, we have spears, all sorts of scary stuff. So the Ember Bow goes down, a LUMINARK shot coming in as well, and he does miss right there, which is pretty unfortunate. Nice juking there by my opponent. He's able to dodge that. And Marcus is just going to be sitting on Cetra, trying to wear that bad boy down. He's a pretty important target to kill. These Ushopti in the back are down to 4 models, should be at critical binding, and now we have a big onslaught of Skeleton Spears coming. Skeleton Spears are 1430 compared to 2135, at least with these chevrons. State Trooper Spearmen, of course, will win in head-to-head combat, but not necessarily because of the leadership thing. With a little bit of interference, this State Troop Spearman can easily lose that. Now, a big LUMINARK shot actually does hit Cetra there, so I was quite happy about that. Pulls the bounce power pretty damn even. Frontline Sigmar Suns dominating the Spearmen here. The Flagellants, of course, doing very well against the Tomb Guard, and yeah, holding back 2 units of Tomb Guard. Very, very, very proud of those guys. Cannons still raining in. 1 unit of the Ushopti Great Bows is paying the troll toll here. The other one will be focused soon. My cannons on this map had a really nice position. They're up on like the high ground. They can pretty much see everything. But there's also a weakness to it in that my opponent can kind of utilize this hill. He can run behind me. And then both cannons pretty much just cannot shoot Cetra, which is a little bit unfortunate. Out to the Blazing Sun, wavering, but they're holding. And here you can see the Nehekara Horsemen are at -17 leadership, crumbling down. Skeleton Spearmen here still pressing in. My State Trooper Spearmen doing their best to hold. And the LUMINARK shot misses once again. Really needed that one. I do drop a net because it looked like he was going to get on top of my caster there. So the Amethyst Wizard going to be pulling back. And a really nice Ushopti summon from my opponent. This is a beauty right here. Check this out. So he uses it on the LUMINARK, and I didn't really notice it. And the Ushopti actually summoned in a perfect circle around it. So I just have 0 chance of escaping here. So that was really unfortunate for me, because now my LUMINARK, which is pretty healthy, is going to be paying the price and probably 100% dying. There's no way I'm getting away from those Ushopti. You can see I try and move away, but maybe if I sent in someone to help, some cavalry, but all my cavalry are very, very busy here. To the Blazing Sun are broken now, but my Spearmen and company are holding. You can see Cetra is actually taking a bit of damage himself. He's at about 2,500, 2,600 HP, and the Outriders with the grenade launcher is going to be trying to run. But unfortunately, what ends up happening is they get terror routed and just run right off the side of the map there. So that hurt pretty bad, because I really needed them to kill infantry. Sigmar Suns, though, doing great work. They were able to break the Skeleton Spears. They're now pressing into the Archers. Ushopti Great Bow from my opponent are crumbling here. And I just really need to weather the storm here on this Ushopti summon. And it's given me a lot of grief, man. That was a really good one. It killed my LUMINARK, pretty much. I mean, it has 400 HP, but it's probably not going to be that much of a player going into the late game. And Marcus Wolfhart still just kind of sitting on the low ground and trying to rip shots wherever he can. Every time Cetra kind of runs by. Hey, look at that. Marcus hit him. That was nice right there. Spirit Leech going down as well. He's got to be getting pretty low. So my whole school of thought here is, if I can rally the LUMINARK, snipe him, and then use the remainder of the ammunition to blast some Tomb Guard, I'll probably be in good shape to win this game, despite the fact that I am behind on the bounce. A lot of it is the Ushopti summon and 2 cannons being compromised. But, you know, I got a little something in my back pocket. Here, these Ushopti Great Bows, the second unit is unfortunately quite stable as well, and they're firing. I do have a couple ways to stop them. I could Spirit Leech them, charge them with the Amethyst Wizard. But up on the high ground, the Knights of the Blazing Sun did try and stop Cetra. So a lot of the game, honestly, is going to come down to, can the LUMINARK actually hit Cetra here? So I net him in place. I figured the LUMINARK has line of sight. It says it's firing. It's not red. So I'm like, okay, here we go. LUMINARK is going to shoot. But not shooting. There's a 15-second timer between shots, if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully it'll start going here soon. On that note, Cetra is going to be charging in, and Spirit Leech going down as well. He is very, very low. And this is really the deciding factor in the game here. So I pulled the LUMINARK back a little bit, trying to intercept with the Amethyst Wizard to get some free damage and just juke, because I knew that it just wouldn't shoot. And here comes your boy Amethyst Wizard. So he gets a nice charge into Cetra's back, 1,400 HP. Knights of the Blazing Sun do the same thing. Take down about 300 HP. And now the LUMINARK is going to be shooting, which hopefully it'll actually shoot here. Marcus and the Spearmen fighting. Bounce power comes back to the middle with Cetra getting nuked here, but it just still isn't going. Yeah, such a buggy thing. Like, because the 15-second cooldown should have passed by now. But in this case, the thing just doesn't shoot, even though I was like literally clicking on it for like a good 30 seconds there. So as much as I want it to work, I feel like the LUMINARK is often death sentence. I mean, it can be kind of cheesy and fun, but like I think for consistent efficacy, I think it's actually a pretty weak piece of equipment right there. So Cetra the Imperishable getting charged by the Amethyst Wizard, and Marcus Wolfhart going to go for the downtown snipe, and it looks like we should get him here. He's got 250 HP. Trying to get away with my horse here. 66 speed. The Sphinx does have 68, a little bit quicker. 184, and Marcus finishes. And he is indeed perishable. So there you go. But now it's looking very scary, because a lot of our build was designed for sniping, right? We had the double cannons, we had the Marcus, we had the Amethyst Wizard. We didn't have that much to clear out the infantry. So now we're kind of paying that price on the back end. If we had kept our grenade launchers and or our LUMINARK, we probably could have been blasting some of these guys and really causing a lot of disruption. But without their grenade launchers, I don't have too many good tools to actually fight here. So we'll do a little bit of fast forwarding, as there's a lot of jockeying for position. We Spirit Leech the Tomb Guard. Marcus Wolfhart ripping shots where he can, killing a model more or less outright every time. And yeah, we're just kind of looking to fight. Spearmen are advancing here. I have some more spearmen up in the hill and some coming from the back, which unfortunately just shatter. But we try and break these guys down. Marcus is going to be forced into combat here against the skeleton spearmen and the tomb guard. But in the end, it's probably not going to be enough, as Marcus is not a great crowd clearing hero, and the tomb guard will easily defeat him in combat. GG, well played to my opponent. It was a really fun game. Definitely was missing the demis here, because there was like several points where Cetra got into the back. Like, I couldn't do much against him except like try and focus him, but he could juke my shots, and the LUMINARK just wasn't worth shooting at all. It was being broken. A really nice Ushopti summon probably won him the game. It was beautiful. But yeah, this build is pretty solid for sure. Probably you cut this. You need to cut the Amethyst Wizard for a Burning Head Wizard to kill the Tomb Guard, and then you cut this for a Demogryph, and then I think you have a solid build. Because I really felt the weaknesses of this one, though it was still a close game. It was well played. He did a really, really good job juking with Cetra. He was conservative. His Archer play was really good too, even though we didn't get to see it as much. He was focusing down my Flagellants and my lightly armored troops in the front line and really did an excellent job. So well played to more. It was quite a bit of fun. We played a couple games the other day on Anticity's Ladder, which was quite a bit of fun. So you guys will be seeing those up on the channel. Well played, guys. And until next time, stay safe, avoid Nurgle's Plague, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.